Good day, students. I hope you are doing great today. So we will have again another lesson in Mathematics 7. So this time we will be focusing on the operations on integers. In this first part of the video, we will discuss first the addition and subtraction of integers. So you have this one already when you were in grade 6, but we will discuss again this one in grade 7. So addition of integers. So when we add numbers, so in addition of integers, you just have to interpret the positive symbol as gain. Okay, so assuming it's a gain, and then for the negative symbol, that means it is a loss. Okay, so if it's positive, that means there's a profit or gaining, you gain something on it. And if it's a negative, that means you lost. Okay, so we have positive 5 and plus positive 4, that means you gain 5, you gain 4, combine it, the answer is positive 9. Again, for the positive symbol, you can just disregard those positive symbol there, right? Remember that it is still positive even if you don't write positive symbol. Number 2, we have negative 5 plus negative 4. So if you owe 5 pesos and you owe 4 pesos, that means negative 9. That means you owe 9 pesos still. 9 pesos. Diba? That means you owe something hapon. So, next. So that only means that like sign, you just have to add the numbers if it has the same sign. Okay? Then copy the common sign. Or you can interpret it the same in real life situation. Right? Because if you try to memorize those, like if it's same symbol class, you just have to add them and then copy the sign. If you will memorize that, you will still forget all those, because as we move along the way in our next lesson, you will have a lot of things to memorize. Okay, so if you memorize all of them, maybe you will get confused. So it would be best that you try to relate this in real life situation. So integers, you can interpret that one in a way in dealing with like the losses and the profit. So if you interpret it that way, you can easily understand this. Let's have number 3. So for number 3, that means you gain 10 pesos, you lost 4. So still, you are still gaining 6, right? So you still gain 6. That means positive 6. Another example is, for example, 4 plus negative 10. That means you lost 6. So you have negative 6 paghapon. Okay? So the idea is that if you have unlike sign in adding integers, you just have to subtract the numbers. Then copy the sign of the number which has the greater absolute value. Okay, let's have to do practice. How about this one? 5 plus 7. Again, if there is no positive symbol, automatically that is positive. So 5 plus 7, the answer is 12. Number 2, negative 8 plus negative 9, the answer is, that means you owe 8 pesos, you owe 9 pesos, that means you owe 17. Or you can interpret it as losses. You lost 8, you lost 9, then that means you lost 17 all in all. Another example, negative 4 plus 10. What does it mean? You lost 4, you gained 10. So it means that the result is positive 6. Or you don't have to write the positive symbol already. It's just 6. And then, how about this? 20 plus negative 6. So the answer is positive 14. Last example, negative 10. Negative 10 plus positive 4. The answer is negative 10, of course. So always remember that we are dealing still with adding of integers. So for now, I think you can easily answer all of this. But what matter is that when we discuss everything already, all the operations, can you still remember all of this? So that is the challenge here. So for now, you might think that it's easy, but you have to be very careful in the next lesson, okay? Okay, this time we will discuss subtraction of integers. Let's see if you can answer this. Of course, when I say 9 minus 4, what does it mean? Your answer is positive 5. How about if I say 4 minus 9? What is your answer? Of course, it's negative 5 because it's opposite. In this one, you learned this one during your elementary. Of course, di ba? What to do? You just have to subtract. 9 minus 4, it's equals to 5. But how about if I ask it in opposite, 4 minus 9? Of course, the answer is also opposite, which is negative 5. But in horizontal, it would be best that you do it horizontally. For example, like this, 9 minus 4, and do it like this. And di ba, you know how to add integers already. How to add again? You have to interpret that one as positive, that means you gain something, and negative, that means you lost. So, positive, this is positive man, and then negative, so that means your answer is negative 5. I mean positive 5 because this one is bigger. You gain more than you lost. So it's positive 5. That's why we answered there positive 5. How about number 2? 4 minus 9. So again, you do it like this. So it's plus. You follow now the rule in doing the adding of integers. So this one, we have you gain 4, you lost 9. That means you still lost 5. So the answer is negative 5. That's why it's negative 5 there. I hope that is clear. How about this one? Negative 9 minus 4. Or negative 9 minus negative 4. What is the answer? It's negative 5. What's the reason behind it? You will know later. Negative 9 minus 4. The answer is negative 13. Negative 9 minus 4. Negative 4, it's 13. But why is it the answer are those? How did we do that? So this one, actually, we just changed the second one. The second number. Okay? So for example, you have there 9. You have to change it into plus na. You have to keep this one, change the operation to plus, and then change also the opposite or do the opposite of 4. So that is negative 4. Diba? If we do the opposite of 4, that is negative 4. So therefore, you have positive 9 times plus negative 4. The answer is positive 5. How about number 2 earlier? 4 minus 9, negative 5. Because 4, you have to, again, you have to keep the first number or first integer, change the sign, that becomes plus already. I mean, change the operation, that becomes plus already or addition. And then, do the opposite of the second number, which is negative 9. Right? It's negative 9. So, you have to write there negative 9. And we can now interpret this one as you gain 4, you lost 9. Number 3, it's negative 9, then negative 4. What to do? You have to keep the negative 9, change the operation to plus, and then change the second number to its opposite, which is positive 4. This time, we can now interpret this one since we are adding now integers. When you are adding, you interpret this as gaining and losing. So you lost negative 9, you lost 9, you gain 4, you still lost 5. Right? That is how you do it. Number 4. Or you can do it like this. For example, in most cases, class, if you will be dealing already with algebra, for example, x plus b, x plus y, etc., you will have that one soon. So in most cases, that is written in horizontal form. So it would be best that you practice yourself in solving it using horizontal. But what I have here is vertical para lang to easily understand what is integers. But we will also practice doing it horizontally. For example, negative 9 minus negative 4. Di ba? Nga naman to. What are you gonna do is you have to separate gihapon. What did I say when you do separation? Like that. Okay? Oh, let me use red. Di ba we have two negatives here? I told you to make it positive. There are two negatives or two negative symbol. What are we gonna do? If you can see a two negative symbol, always make it positive. Okay, why is it positive? In the later part, in the multiplying integers, you will know why is it positive. Because everything, if you have two negatives, that becomes positive man in multiplying. So, okay, here, it becomes positive already. Or you can just neglect na lang the two negatives. Okay, again, You can only do that if you have two negatives, ha? Take note, if you can only do that if you have two negatives. So we have here negative 9 minus negative 4. So since you have 2 here, you neglect that one. So you now have, you lost 4, you gain 4. What is the answer? You still lost 5. Right? And that is why this is 5. This is 5. Or negative 5. Okay, how about number 4? Okay, you know already this method, the one in the screen. You just have to keep the first. So it's up to you what do you want, on what method do you want? The method that I have earlier or the method that I presented in the screen, in the PowerPoint. So you can have negative 9. What are you going to do again? You keep the negative 9, you change the operations to plus, and then for the second number, you have to do the opposite of that, which is negative 4. Okay? Sometimes, man God, you are confused because you thought that that negative is for the negative 4. So that's why they rewrite it. There are two negatives already. Okay, so don't get confused. Make sure, for example, this one. Sometimes they thought this is negative 4. But it's not. But you can also do it like that. You can interpret it that way for a while. Okay, here. So, in horizontal, you can do it like this. Negative 9 minus 4. So, you just hold like that. Or see, you can see now negative 9 and negative 4. You lost 9, you lost 4. That means you lost 13 all in all. So, it's negative 13. That's why it's negative 13 also there. So, again, it's up to you if you want to have the vertical or horizontal. It's up to you. Basta, one thing is for sure, you will be dealing soon. If you will proceed to algebra na, we will be dealing soon equation that is in horizontal form. So it would be best that you have it in horizontal form. The same thing with this. Keep the 9 there. The negative, it becomes positive na. And this one also becomes positive. The second number, the opposite of negative 4, it's positive 4. And then, you're not using minus now. You are using now addition. Okay? So that's why it's 13 there. Or you can have it like this. What is that? It's not negative 9. No, it's positive 9. Then minus negative 4. I told you, if there's two negative, that becomes positive. That's why 9 or positive 4, you gain 9, you gain 4, you gain 13 all in all. That's why it's there. So rule again, you just have to change the sign of the subtrahend. Change the sign of the subtrahend and proceed to addition. Change also the operation to addition. Okay? So we call it subtrahend. Okay, let's try to do practicing. Number 1, 11 minus 5. Of course, the answer is 6. This is very easy. Number 2, how about 8 minus 14? So again, in horizontal, 8 minus 14. So separate that one. You have now 8. You gain 8, you lost 14. So you still lost 6. Right? So your answer is negative 6. How about number 3? Negative 9 minus negative 8. So, how to write that again? Negative 9 minus negative 8. So, do it like this. And then there are two negatives. So, you have to remove those because there are two negatives. As I have said, if there are two negatives, you remove it. So, what is left now is you lost negative 9. You gain 8. That means you still lost negative 1. Let's see if there is negative 1 is the answer. Okay, correct. How about this one? Number 4. Again, this is very easy. It's negative 15 minus negative 15. And everything subtracted to itself, the answer is 0. Remember that one? Everything that you subtract by itself, it's 0. So the same thing with it, it's 0. But if you want to really do it in horizontal, yapon, okay, still the same. Okay, you know for sure that this is positive already. So, negative, you lost 15, you gain 15. That means it's 0. And the last number is the answer. So, negative 15 minus 15. So, negative, you lost 15, negative, you lost 15, you lost also here, 15. That's why you lost negative or you lost 30 already. Okay? So, The second part of this video will be, we will continue na lang. The multiplication of integers. So we are done with adding and subtracting. The idea of adding and subtracting integers are just the same. Just always remember on what to do with the subtraction. Always remember that in subtraction, you have to change the subtrahend. You have to change the sign of the subtrahend or do its opposite. And then, always remember to do addition na for the subtraction after you change the subtrahend. Okay? So this time, let's have multiplication of integers. The multiplication and division of integers are also have the same idea. So when you learn in elementary, you just have to multiply. You multiply them also here in integers. The same with the division. If you divide it, you divide it. But the only thing is because of the symbol. Okay? So because of the symbol, that is where the changes is coming. Okay? But again, the idea of multiplying, it's still the same. And the idea of dividing, it's still the same. For example, this one, positive 2 times positive 3, the answer is positive 6. Because you have the same sign. Again, you just have to multiply the numbers there, which is 2 times 3. Number 2, negative 2 times negative 3. So, one thing for sure, in number, the answer is 6 because that is only 2 and 3. So, the answer is 6. But what is the symbol? The answer is positive. Okay, that is why in multiplication symbol, see, there is another rule for multiplication and you might get confused when you combine the addition. If you can go back, you'll get confused na. So, at least for the multiplying of integers, you know na if you have like sign, the answer is always positive. Again, even if you are asked negative times the negative, that is positive. Positive times positive, since all of that are the same, that is positive. Now, here's the idea. In multiplying two like sign, the answer is always positive. Okay? Basta nagadi siya kauban nga laing sign, the answer is positive. Okay, later you will understand more about this. Number 3, how about negative 3 times positive 3? The answer is negative 15. How about if you have positive 15 and negative 3? The answer is negative 15. So what you're gonna do is you just have to multiply the numbers, still the same, but then if you are dealing with different symbol in multiplying integer, you just have to answer it in negative form. Okay, so again, if you multiply unlike sign, if you multiply two unlike signs specifically, the result is negative. Again, the numbers, you just have to multiply them, the same what you learned in your elementary. How about division? So the idea of division and multiplication, as I have said before, it's just the same. Okay? But in division, of course, you have to divide it. Okay? For example, 6 divided by 2. The answer is 3. So you answered 3. And the answer is positive because it is the same symbol. Okay? 2 like signs means positive. This one, we have 2 like signs still, so it's positive. And with the numbers, you just have to divide 6 divide 2, and the answer is positive 3. Again, the rule is that if you have like signs in dividing 2 like signs, the answer is always positive. And if you divide 2 unlike sign, the answer is negative, as shown in the presentation. Let's have some example of multiplying and dividing of integers. Dividing integers. So for example, this one, negative 1 times negative 2 times negative 3. We know that in number, the answer for this is 1 times 2. 2 times 3, it's 6. So it's 6. Now, how about the sign? Is it positive or negative? Some of you might answer positive, but actually the correct answer is negative. Sir, why is it so? Because again, remember that you need to have 2 like signs to make it positive. So therefore, we have 3 unlike sign. We have 3 man-like sign. So that is not the one in the rule. Okay? So what are you gonna do? If you have 2 like sign, you make it positive. So that is positive. But na may negative, na may ikatulo. That therefore, it's already positive times negative. And that is negative already. So the answer here is negative 6. Again, I will repeat. You will only answer positive. Okay, so we have negative 6. Okay, so again, this time, the answer is negative 6 because the rule earlier is if you have 2 like sign. But what we have here is 3 like sign man. Okay, but every time that you have an odd number, even numbers of negatives, the answer is positive. What do you mean by even numbers? Like 2, 4, 6, 8. So if there are 2 negatives or 4 negatives or 6 negatives, the answer is positive. Okay, dapat na siya partner always. So, kani sa dito tulo nakabuk negative. So, kung sila ay may combine, positive na. Pero ang ikatulo, wa siya partner. Therefore, the final answer is negative. Again, you interpret it that way. Next, number 2, you have negative 1 times negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. This time, we know for sure that the number from here is 6 times 4, it's 24. Now, the question, is it positive or negative? The answer is positive. Why is it positive? Again, it is positive because we have 4 negatives. As I have said earlier, you have to make it by partner. Na may partner sa negative, siya yung partner. So, positive na silang duha. How about this? Positive po na. So, the answer for that is positive. 24. Okay, this time, I just wrote there positive to make it clear na the answer is positive. But again, if you answer, you don't have to write positive symbol na. Automatically, just the number if it's positive. Okay? Number 3, negative 1 times negative 2 times 3. The answer is positive 6. Why is it positive 6? Again, the negatives we have here is partners. Again, if it's partner, make it positive. You understand? Basta negative partner sa life, positive yun na. It's a positive. Number 4, negative 1 times negative 2 times negative 3 times positive 4. This time, the answer is negative because na partner sa negative pero ang usa, wala siya partner. Therefore, it's a negative 24. 24 because, again, we multiply the numbers. Rules in multiplying or dividing, even if it's dividing, odd sets of negative numbers are the answer is negative. Again, odd sets, when I say odd sets, those are 1 negative, or there are 3 negatives, 5 negatives, 7 negatives, those are odd numbers. And even sets of negative numbers, the answer is positive. I hope that is clear. Let's try to have the exercise on multiplying and dividing. How about this? 7 times 8, what's the answer? It's positive 56. So it's positive because it's positive man. How about negative 8 times negative 6? So the answer is positive 8. Again, there is partner. Okay, the idea, again I'll just repeat. The idea of loss and gain, that is only for adding and subtracting integers. The idea of multiplying and dividing integers is you just have to deal with partners. Nagani sa ka-partner, it's positive. Wag gani ka-partner, it's negative. I hope that is clear to all of you. Again, integers is very important because you will be dealing with this one until you reach grade 12 and even college. Okay? This is the most important part that others are confused. So, negative times 11, negative 7 times 11, the answer is negative 77. For what reason again? You just have to multiply the number and with the sign, wala ka partners and negative there. So, it's negative. How about this? Negative 2 times negative 3 times 5. Of course, the answer is positive 30. Anong positive? Na ka-partner sa negatives. Di na sila ma-worry basta na ka-partner. Last example. How about this? Okay, the answer for this is positive 54. Again, you do the same thing in division. So, even if I did not give you example for division, I hope you can still answer it. Again, the same thing. I hope everything is clear regarding the operation on integers. Goodbye, everyone, and God bless.